Hello, and welcome to the Blueprint Journal. And I'm your host, Zach. The Blueprint Journal is a podcast that aims to mainstream independent thinking, highlight individual successes and failures, and share practical knowledge to achieve your version of success. Throughout this podcast, our focus will be documenting the journey through entrepreneurship rather than spotlighting the byproducts of achieving great success. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Yo. What is going on, folks? It's your boy Zach, man. We are here. Yeah, this is definitely more of a podcast format, so feel free to kick back, relax if you're chilling. If you're a multitasker like me, go ahead and do something, man. Clean your room, do some push-ups, brush your teeth, wash your ass, whatever you need to do, man. These are going to be pretty insightful podcast. But first, I want to make sure that I do two things. First and foremost, I appreciate everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody liking the vids, tuning in. You know, I'm still a growing channel. I'm still a growing platform. So we still got a long way to go. I want the moon and the stars, man. But before I can get there, I got to take my baby steps. You feel me? And the second thing I want to make sure I do is address the elephant in the room, which is I know it's been well over a week since I've dropped my last video, but it's okay. And the reason why I say it's okay is just because we all know that life happens. I'm not going to try to sit here and make any excuses to you guys because that's just not what I do, bro. But what I do is I keep chugging. Life is full of highs and lows, and the only thing you can do is keep chugging. So, hey, if I'm not tripping about it, you shouldn't be either, man. But again, I want to make sure I thank you all for tuning back in. If you're new to the channel, this is not our normal format. You can go ahead and view the other videos we got, but this is going to be part of a podcast series that I'm starting called The Blueprint Journal, a practical guide to success. And the reason why I call it a practical guide to success is because it will be very practical. The things and the people that I talk to are very practical people. They're people that I know, people I grew up with. You know, it's not going to be anything like, hopefully I'll be able to get somebody like Drake or Rihanna or somebody like that on the channel. But, you know, until then. But there is something that they do that I want to make sure that you guys understand that all successful people do this. So if you want to become successful, you got to emulate success, right? And Warren Buffett is a prime example of an idol that many people look up to for investing. Ray Dalio as well, Charlie Munger. These guys are literally the best investors in the world. And Warren Buffett, he actually releases, him and Bill Gates, they release like an annual book list. And Warren Buffett says he reads 4 to 5 hours a day. You know, that's something that he makes sure he makes that time for. And something I do, I like to read as well, but I like to journal more than anything, just because I've seen how powerful and how extremely insightful it's been for me over the past year and some change. It's been the biggest driving factor that I would say has allowed me to grow and see my progress because I'm able to track it. You know, I'll put a date, I put a time, I put the overarching, message that I'm trying to get across, and then I'll just go in completely raw, uncut. And how I'm able to track my growth from that is just I'm able to go back to any day and see how I was thinking, see where my flaws were, and then compare like where I'm at then, where I was at then, and where I'm at now. And I tell you, man, the best way to give yourself just the biggest pat on the back or the biggest ego boost is to be able to compare yourself with actual information, actual data, not speculation, and be like, wow, I can't believe you used to think like that, bro. Like I would literally read through my journal like, bruh, come on, man. Like that's some weak shit, bro. But seriously, being able to track it has been the best thing. And I highly advise everyone that's listening to this to go ahead and start thinking of like a simple discipline that you want to start. I got this idea, or I guess it kind of came back full circle when I read that book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And I'll have the link to the book below and other books that I recommend as always. But when I read that book back in March, it was like mid-March, I was on a solo hiking trip out in somewhere in Virginia, man, on the Appalachian. It was pretty chill. It was called Getaway House. And they have them all over the country now. So if you're listening anywhere in the country, go ahead and go to getawayhouse.com and check it out. I'll also have a link down below for that as well if you guys are just lazy. But it was a great little retreat. And I was able to read that book. And I can only say there are only a few books that I've read that I would say has really opened my mind and changed the way I think after reading it. The very first one I can remember like off bat was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Many of you guys know that book. That's a staple book to all entrepreneurs. But then the second book that I read that really stood out to me, because Rich Dad Poor Dad is more of like a gateway book to me, right? It opens the doors and opens your mind. I think he does that on purpose, Kiyosaki. But the next book I read after that was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I'm not going to lie, man, that was one of the most dense books that I've read up until that point. The information in there was great. And when I mean dense, it wasn't like because there was extremely large words or anything like that. No, the book is actually really, really simple. But just the fact that the book is making you think and making you unlearn and then relearn things that you thought you knew, but you realize you didn't know. It's like earth shattering. I'm not even going to lie. But it's a great book because that is literally a extreme, like it's number one seller amongst all CEOs. Just if you just understand that, then you'll understand why this book is so important. And then I read The Slight Edge. And I can tell you, man, The Slight Edge was just revolutionary. That along with The Compound Effect. Those books are extremely similar in my opinion. A lot of books are extremely similar now, especially, self-development stuff. But they tell different stories, and that's what makes it interesting. And I tell you, man, Jeff Olson really knows how to interweave his story with the point he's trying to get across. So the reason why I want to tell you guys to go ahead and start a simple daily habit is because these goals of yours are going to help you inevitably become successful. And the reason that they do is because in order to become successful, you first need to master your mind. And that's what these simple daily habits allow you to do. You understand that working hard does lead to success, but you can work hard and run in circles, but you want to make sure you work hard in the right direction. This book kind of gives you more of a compass, a guide, not just a how-to, but a why you should do something, right? And understanding the why, in my opinion, has been the biggest change because I've always been a hard worker. I never not been, but at the end of the day, like I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. Definitely didn't. Felt like I was still struggling to survive, you feel me? But then I understood after a while that it's not just working hard and saving money and investing. It's actually a philosophy behind these things. There's a true philosophy behind every single action. And when you start moving like that, the world and your life starts feeling like a game of chess. And you understand that the frequency of your moves don't matter. It's actually the impact of them. You don't have to move the most often. You don't have to speak the most often. You don't have to act the most often. But every time you do an action, it has an astounding effect. And that's what real kings do. You feel me? They weigh out their options and make the most impactful one. And something that you guys can do that will be impactful for your own life is to really start thinking first. Make the decision to constantly and consistently think. Think deeply about every decision that you want to make. Weigh out how is this going to benefit you in the future. And if this is too deep for you, man, I highly recommend you guys just not follow me anymore on any social media. Don't follow me on YouTube, because this isn't for you, man. And this is the wave that I'm on. Honestly, it's not even a wave. This is my lifestyle. This is how I think. This is how I move. This is how I breathe. Everything has a purpose. I'm not just out here wasting time, wasting effort, wasting energy. Everything has a very specific purpose. And you guys need to move with more purpose as well. If you don't know your purpose, move with purpose. You will find your purpose. I promise you. But I recommend you guys to go ahead and read this book, listen to the audiobook. And after you do that, let's discuss what you guys got going on for your simple daily habits. If you establish them. If you haven't, man, you need to get on it. If you want to be successful, man, you will definitely do it. Don't think these things are corny. Don't think they're weird. They're not. Honestly, that's what successful people do. I guarantee you will not meet a successful person that doesn't read. I guarantee you won't meet a successful person that didn't emulate somebody they looked up to. That's just what it is. They've laid out these stepping stones, and it's really just up to us just to step on them. Go about our own way. Find our own way to success. But they laid these guidelines out for us. It's very simple in my opinion. I don't know. It doesn't seem, extremely out of the ordinary. It seems pretty straightforward to me. It's just a matter of staying committed and understanding that you're not going to see any real big results immediately, but I'm telling you, over time, you're going to notice. It's been a year since I started journaling, and I can go back and see how I used to think about things and process information, get frustrated about certain things, how I would act or almost act, I guess. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe that used to be me. But it was, because nobody else wrote that journal besides me. So that's why I recommend you guys to go ahead and do that, man. It'll be extremely beneficial for you. But I'm going to try to keep this one short, man, because some of these other ones are going to be extremely long. So don't be surprised. A lot of these ones I plan on, by myself at least, I plan on keeping these pretty short, very digestible pieces of content. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this podcast, go ahead and give me a like. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. You already know what it is. Comment down below if you guys have started your journey of entrepreneurship, if you have any simple daily habits or success habits, we want to call them, down below in the comment section. Tell me how it's working for you, what kind of troubles that you're having, and we can duke it out. You feel me? But until then, I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace out.